All right, hello, and welcome back to Purposeful Woman podcast. And today we have Dalia. Dalia is a psychology graduate with a passion for holistic well being and personal development. She also holds a master's degree in organizational behavior and development and is the founder of City to Hippie, where she coaches women to break free from diet, culture, and feel confident in their body from inside out. Hi, and welcome, Dalia.
Hello, thank you for inviting me here today.
Oh, I love having international guests. Dalia is in Israel, and I'm in Los Angeles, and that's the power of podcasting and connecting, co-collaborating, and co-creating. So wonderful to have you. Well, tell us more about what inspired you to get on the journey that you are in right now.
So I guess it all started back in 2013, I would say. That's when I first started studying psychology. So I was studying psychology for 3 years. I graduated in 2016. And the reason why I got into psychology is because I always knew I wanted to help people. And I was fascinated by human behavior and the human mind and how people think and their belief systems and how that affects their behavior and their actions and what we do in this world. So that was really kind of the reason why I got into psychology. And then when I finished graduating in 2016, I thought I wanted to go more on the lines of organizational psychology. That was kind of what was calling me at the time. And I decided to pursue a master's degree in organizational behavior and development. And I also got a corporate job. And from the outside, everything was great. I was in the master's degree, I had a good job, and everything was exactly as it should be, right? But inside, I felt like something was missing. I felt like there was a bigger purpose. I didn't know what it was, but I wasn't feeling like I was fulfilling my purpose. So I carried on staying in the corporate world, doing the 9 to 5, doing everything I should for probably like around 2 years. When I finished the master's degree, I said, enough is enough. I was completely burnt out. I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. I was working long hours and I wasn't like fulfilling what I wanted to do, but I still didn't know what it was exactly that I wanted to do. So I decided to take a break and go traveling. And I ended up solo traveling. It was intended for 4 months and then it turned into 10. My whole journey from there changed to 180 and I haven't looked back since. And that was a couple of years back now. And during that journey, a lot of things changed for me on a health perspective as well, which is kind of what led me into health coaching today. So I stopped drinking caffeine and I stopped smoking cigarettes and I stopped drinking alcohol and I stopped eating meat and dairy and I started looking after myself and really connecting to my spiritual health and emotional health as well as the physical side of things too. And I started realizing the importance of self-care. And I went from like the complete extreme of burnout to then self-care and like really looking after myself. And I think everything that I kind of learned along the way, like all the transitions that I made and the psychology, all kind of led me into the coaching world and health coaching and what I do today.
That is a beautiful story. I have pretty much similar story, burnout, and then just straightforward. I quit and I took a year off to just do whatever I want and just like I've done twice yoga daily. It was a little bit too much though, but still, it was really great, and I'm really grateful for health, holistic perspective of living. Well, tell us right now, but if you have everything that you know right now, what would you do differently years ago?
It's a good question. I think I would say to people, if you're not sure what you want to do, because I wasn't sure at the time, just take action. I think something that I definitely done that stopped me for a long time was to get another certification and to do another course and to keep on doing and doing things. But the truth is, unless you're actually taking messy action and you're in the trenches and you're talking to real people and you're understanding what people want and what is aligned with what you want, it's not going to move you forward. And I think that was probably one of the biggest mistakes that I definitely made that took me a long time to get to where it is I am today.
So go in action, get in action to get clarity.
Yeah, and I think another thing is also to look outside the box because for me, like traveling really opened my eyes. And that was the first time I really kind of encountered the digital nomad lifestyle. And it really got me thinking. And I was like, wow, there's people out there. I remember the first time I kind of met a digital nomad, I was like, wow, this person is doing what they love doing. They're like living their passion, and they're also traveling. And I've had the travel bug since like 2014. So I was like, wow, this is actually like a thing that like kind of this is a way of life. And then I kept on meeting more and more people that were doing what they love doing and traveling and fulfilling their passion. And I was like, this kind of really opened my eyes, and it really made me think outside the box. And I think traveling as well definitely allows you to see a different way of life. So another thing I would definitely say is don't like be stuck in the box and the container that you're living in, and look outside, and really the impossible really is possible. Like if you put your mind to something and you believe it is possible, you will make it happen, and it definitely can happen. And I would definitely say a lot of the time the only doors that really locked are the doors in our mind.
Yeah, it's impossible. It's actually, I am possible. There's nothing impossible. All right. What would be your number one advice for those, like for the area in your expertise? Let me say that. Anything that you would like to share?
Yeah, I would just say that everything really begins from the inside out. And something that I definitely focus on a lot is, I think a lot of the time, like I'm just going to really briefly talk about the diet culture. So a lot of the time the reason that I help people get off the diet culture is a lot of the time we think it starts from outside and how we look from the outside, but everything really does begin from within. And one of the things that I would say to help you get there is a lot of the time we end up comparing ourselves to other people, and we do what we think we should do and what we think is the right thing to do, but kind of compare yourself to yourself as you were a few years ago, or as you were last month, or as you were last week, instead of comparing yourself to other people. And everything really begins from within, from a place of self-love and self-acceptance and self-worth. And it really is an inner journey.
That's beautiful. All right. So the last question that I ask everybody in this podcast is, I want you to fill in the blank in a sentence. If you really knew me, you will know that I am blank.
Energy.
Yes. Yeah, that will be not very spiritual podcast if there will be not energy in here. Love
I think
it. Thank you
definitely
so much.
energy is a good way to connect to anyone. Like high
Beautiful.
vibe energy.
Well, share with us where our audience can find you and learn more about how they can break free from their diets and really feel confident about themselves.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram on city to hippie. It's like city_to_hippie. And my Facebook group, I have a free Facebook group, which is called Self-Love Diet, Healthy Lifestyle and Body Confidence Community. And you can come join me there.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for watching or listening this episode, or either the YouTube or podcast platform that you're choosing from. And I would love to hear from you. What is your best self-care act? If you send us a text to +1 401 399 4105. And thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye. And if you love this episode and you would love to see more of that, click the subscribe button to Purposeful Woman Podcast. And don't forget to text us to stay in tune with the Purposeful community for awesome tricks by texting to number +1 401 399 4105. And we will link descriptions in the episode to all of that we mentioned today. Bye. Turn your one day to day one with a purposeful day.